Come on.
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Alrighty, welcome to another edition of C2C Rank Em, brought to you by Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Big B, your host, along with my co-host. Yeah, he's making fun of me with his little name there of Tony Gwynn. If you didn't catch last week's, we ranked different positions in baseball, and when we got to the outfield, I forgot to add Mr. Tony Gwynn in there. So, Tim Hendricks, how you doing, bud?
Well, I started the day off with the flu, so I figured I'd soldier it through. See, we're talking about one of my favorite actors of all time, so it's definitely he got me through a lot of times, so I figured I can soldier on.
Yes, today we are talking about actors, but actors and actresses that have left us, passed on. Mainly brought this up because of Christy Alley passing away last week. Jason Frank a couple of weeks ago, the Green Power Ranger, which kind of shocked us all. And if you're a sports fan, you do know, I know he's not an actor, but you saw the news and we want to send our condolences out to his family and stuff. Mike Lynch, like Tim said, probably a guy that should have got a start or a job in the NFL. Gone too soon. So, with that being said, got 4 categories: actor, actresses, and then our top Robin Williams roles and top Christy Alley roles. So, let's start with the actresses, Tim. Who's your number 5?
My number 5. Let me get this. She wasn't much known for being an actress, but she was young. But she ended up being in a movie or two, and she was young, and her career was just starting when she passed away, really, really tragically. I have Aaliyah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was a big shocker when she passed away. For me, kind of had a hard time here with my number 5 because I really wanted to honor all the girls of Golden Girls. So I'm putting them all at number 5. I know Betty White, passed away last year, 17 days before her birthday or something like that. So,
Yeah.
but all those girls, that was one of the classic shows that we will have to break down one of these days. But Betty White. So you're number 4.
I'll be honest. I went with top 5 actresses that died way too early. So
Yeah, I was looking at that too, and I don't know. I
to be
guess I
honest,
just couldn't research them. I don't know. So
it's weird because when you think about it, the actresses don't die early. They don't. It's got to be a complete freak like Aaliyah. Aaliyah
yep.
was such a freak
I do have
accident.
one out here that's really early. So
Yeah. I've got I've seen her in a couple movies. She's actually, I think, linked to Kirstie Alley in a way. In a movie that she was in. But everybody remembers her from 8 Mile, and everybody remembers her from Clueless as the ditzy girl, the new girl. Brittany Murphy. The way she died was another one so freaky, but yet her portrayal, her role in 8 Mile was it should have been Oscar worthy, and I really don't understand why it didn't. And to see Brittany Murphy not here to do some work, and she could easily played some roles that are out right now. But yeah, to me, Brittany Murphy was a hard one to see, just watch go.
yeah, and that's when I was writing the list, I had her down as number 2, and I'm like, no, I got to move her down. Because again, I went with more. I know we kind of talked about going with the ones that died too early, but I just couldn't find them, or they just didn't stick out to me. But I had Murphy at number 4. definitely. I know her from Clueless. One of the, you know, heartthrobs, crushes. I think a lot of guys had. So, you're number 3, Tim.
My number three, and I'll be honest, I was lucky enough. This could be one that says, okay, she didn't leave that early. She passed away. I want to say 6 years ago, 7 years ago, um, on a flight to Los Angeles. I was lucky enough to I was lucky enough to meet her the year before, at a Comic-Con in Tampa. Um, I kind of fanboyed myself and told her that when I was a teenager, she was my teenage crush, and thought that I was never gonna. I thought I wrecked it for everybody else. Um, but if you're a sci-fi fan, Carrie Fisher, to me, Carrie Fisher, it broke my heart. It absolutely broke my heart.
Yep, that's my number 3 too. Was Carrie Fisher. Um, yeah. I mean, we all know her for Star Wars, but she had a cameo in Jay and Silent Bob, I think it was.
Yep.
Uh, so yeah,
Her
Carrie
her role
Fisher.
in Blues Brothers, where she's trying to kill Elwood Blues the entire time.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god, it was just hilarious. It's just to see her
yeah,
angry and wielding an AK-47 was
yeah,
amazing.
no doubt. Yeah, Carrie Fisher definitely. Yeah, that one crushed me a little bit too. So all right, Tim, number 2.
Okay. I'm lucky to say I think I've seen like three of this actress's movies because she died before I was born. Um, but CBS so nicely puts this movie on every bloody year when we were growing up, and it was like right around Thanksgiving or Christmas. And to realize that she was 36 when she died, it's just crazy to believe. But I had to put Judy Garland on this list because
Oh
it was her and Mickey Rooney so many years ago. It's just she had it all, and then see all the talent go down to Liza Minnelli. She was one of those who let her demons get ahead of her, but she could have made, holy heck, she could have made 30, 40, 50 movies well into the 80s, 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Yeah, it was
yeah,
kind of strange.
yeah. Minnesota's own too, I believe she was.
What's that?
Wasn't she from Minnesota too?
I think so.
Yeah, yeah. You're definitely right. Yeah, Grand Rapids. Yeah.
Michigan. She's
That,
a Michigan girl.
does it say Michigan
Am
on the
I or
thing?
MN?
Minnesota. Yeah.
Okay. There's a Grand Rapids in Minnesota?
Yep.
Well, hell, I
Yep.
learned something new today.
Yeah. No, that definitely was one too. I honestly didn't realize how young she was when she passed away. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'll say. It's not on my list. Number 2. Kind of the reason we're doing the show today, Christy Alley. I mean, another one that was probably a lot of guys' crushes, especially got in Cheers. The kind of the I don't want to say uh, the needy one, but when she came on the Cheers, she had that role of she was higher than everybody else. But
Yeah.
Christy Alley, number 1 for you.
Me, when we brought this up about actresses, like I said, who died way too young, this one was my number one from the thought. Her and her scandals in the 60s, being married to a ball player, being married to a playwright, and Arthur Miller being married to Joe DiMaggio. Um, you know, and Joe loved that woman so much, and
Yeah,
he tried so hard. This was an easy one. This was a no brainer. Marilyn Monroe.
yeah, yeah. That's a good one there. That one I honestly wasn't even thinking of. Um, for me, uh, what September or October or maybe even August, this one passed away for me. Another crush, Olivia Newton John. Her battles that she's had, just the iconic voice. Grease, probably her big starring role. Uh, I don't know what else to say, but yeah, Marilyn Monroe. That is a good one. I thought about that one. I even thought about putting on um Anna Nicole Smith. I know she wasn't really into acting, but she was another one that
I thought about it too, and then I thought, no, that just doesn't seem right. Um,
yeah.
but that's it's making this list was so difficult because it's just like they don't. Like I said, on my half, it was like nobody, no actresses die early, and it's just
Yeah.
like why? So just so you know, my actors list is going to be died early,
Oh,
way too early.
mine is all over the board. I ain't gonna lie. Uh, we probably honestly could have probably did 10 actors. So
Oh yeah,
um all right, let's get to it. Let's do our actors. Number 5 there.
I'm not a fan of this series, but I loved him in The Skulls. To me, The Skulls was such a great movie, and it's so underrated. Um, Not because of Joshua Jackson, but because of Paul Walker. To me, Paul Walker, he he his love for acting was so huge, and it's just like, and when you realize that he's still missed today, and they still try to CGI him into Fast and the Furious movies. They use his brothers as body doubles in Fast and the Furious just so they can keep Paul in the series. It's crazy just to see how big that cast really was in love with Paul Walker, especially when I think it was Vin Diesel that walked down Paul Walker's daughter down the aisle when she got married.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it was Paul Walker. Paul Walker was what else was Paul Walker in? Um, I, when he gets hurt in Varsity Blues, I couldn't have cheered harder.
Yeah. Paul Walker was in that? Oh yeah, he
He's
was
the he
yeah.
was the quarterback.
Yeah. Exactly. He was also in that teenage movie uh She's All That, I think it was.
Okay,
Yeah.
with
Where they made the
Channing
prom
Tatum.
queen out of the
Yeah,
him
well,
and
she's all
Freddie Prinze. Yeah.
yeah.
So my number 5, um, this guy definitely could have had some roles. Funny, one of the funniest guys I've seen.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
Chris Farley. Um, they tried to make a couple movies with him and David Spade and another Chris Farley. Might have been a relative. Just wasn't working out. I think he would have been a blast in The Grown Ups with Adam Sandler and the crew. But yeah, Chris Farley, that one broke my heart big time when he passed.
Oh, I think your name next week is going to be Chris Farley. Um, I forgot. I completely forgot about Chris Farley. I completely forgot about one other. And
uh,
when you realize they were in their 30s when they died,
yep,
it's so
exactly.
crazy. 30s and 40s when they died, it was crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
you're number
uh,
4.
my number 4. This one is still being felt today. Um, but I will always remember Chadwick Boseman from Draft Day. He played T'Challa as the Black Panther in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh
He
God,
played
yeah.
he played
He was the running
Jesse
back in
West.
draft day, wasn't he?
Right. He was a linebacker out of Ohio State.
Oh, the surprising pick. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
I know what
And
you're talking about.
he played Jackie Robinson. He played James Brown. Just to see Chad and to realize the reason why we got the little bit of Chadwick Boseman in that we did is because of Denzel Washington. I think it's a pretty well known story that Denzel Washington put him through acting school. Um, it's crazy to think that, but to see the repercussions of just Chadwick Boseman dying reverberating in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is just huge.
No, he was a very good actor. That Jackie Robinson definitely won a great movie. Probably put him on the map. Um, for me, um, I think I would not be able to come home if I did not put this actor on my
Oh,
list.
here you might be putting this name on my as your name too. Here it
Yeah,
comes.
Patrick Swayze, the guy, you know, great dancer, hell of a mean bully type in Roadhouse, and then you get the sweet side of him in Ghost. Um, yeah, I think I would not be able to come home if I didn't put him on my list. So yeah, number 3 for you.
Number 3. Everybody who's around today knows his brother more than they know of him. Um, they know how he died and how it's linked to Johnny Depp in the Viper Room. Um, to see him play a young Indiana Jones at the end, at the beginning of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Um, but this kid was fire. This one always breaks. It kind of breaks me because this one and the next two kind of are tough because it's just seeing what they could have done. It's River Phoenix. River
Oh,
Phoenix was such a. It's we again. This is going to be the number 3, 2, and 1 are going to be the ones that we lost out on so much because they were gone so quick. But yeah, to me, River Phoenix was huge. I remember him in Stand By Me, working with Will Wheaton and
yep.
Jerry McConnell and Jerry O'Connell and Corey Feldman, and
Uh,
just to see what that kid put on a presence and everything he's done, and it's crazy to see that he's gone.
yeah. Number 4, or no, we're on 3. Number 3 for me, possibly the best Joker uh, outside of Jack Nicholson. Definitely in The Dark Knight, played a heck of a Joker. And I know he, you know, died doing some pills because he was just on a big crunch on trying to get a couple films done. Heath Ledger, I just when that guy passed, that was a big heartbreaker. Up and coming actor, definitely. Like I said, one of the best Jokers I've seen. So you're number 2.
Well, here it comes. Your number 3 is my number 2. To me, Heath Ledger was just when you hear a once in a lifetime talent,
Yep.
and 3, 4 of these people on my list were all once in a lifetime. We're all once in a lifetime talents, and to have it cut so short, I've seen so many of Heath Ledger's movies, so many, and to
Yep.
see what he's done, it's what could have happened. This is the first actor that I remember when I heard he had passed away. I actually cried for because it was that big of a shock. It was like a kick in the chest. It was literally it. To me, you and I are different. I'll take Heath Ledger over Jack Nicholson, but Jack Nicholson's a close two.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, to me, Heath Ledger had an amazing upside, and to die in your 30s like he did was just crazy.
Yeah. Trying to do whatever he can for his fans and get these movies out. I mean, that's at least that's what the reports are. So my number 2, your number 5, Paul Walker. I just you know, especially watching that last Fast and Furious that he was in, and I think they had to do his like you said, use his brother as a body double as they're driving off. He goes one way and Vin Diesel goes the other way. That even choked me up a little bit knowing that
Yeah.
that was his last movie. So yeah, Paul Walker definitely, and just shows don't drive fast cars, I guess. So all right, you're number 1. Did Tim freeze a little bit here? I think Tim froze. So hopefully we'll get Tim back. I'll go with my number 1 here. No. Oh, you're back?
Yeah, I was wondering what happened.
Yeah, it must have just been a little glitch. All right, you're number 1 there.
My number 1 is your number 1. It's we
Are
don't
we
do
sure?
this. If it's not, I'm starting to wonder about our friendship.
Yeah.
No, it honestly, if it's not Robin Williams, we're not doing this list, one of these lists today. Robin Williams, what? This isn't a once in a lifetime actor. This is a once in a forever actor.
Yeah.
You know, to see what he's done. He's played the good guy. He's played the bad guy. He's played the secondary role to player to people. He's willing to do things and willing to do everything that he's ever done. He's not afraid to make people laugh. He's not afraid to make people cry. This is the other one. This was the other one. I never saw my dad cry for the death of an actor before in my life. And when I told my dad that I had that Robin Williams had died, it seemed like he had lost a brother. Um, and it's weird. And but I think everybody. I'm not the only one saying that the light kind of went out in comedy when Robin died.
No, I definitely agree with you on that one. Yeah, Robin Williams definitely. I mean, like you said, and we'll get into some of his top roles, and if again, another, we probably could have done 10 on him, and it still wouldn't give him justice. But yeah, I got Robin Williams. Like,
I have 12. I have 12 written down on my paper. Just I have seven. I have seven honorable mentions. That's how bad that is. And I could have done.
I'm close. I got 11 for him.
I could have easily done 30. To me,
Yeah,
Robin
exactly.
Williams
That's what I'm
is
saying.
everything.
This is another
Yeah.
one that 5 just ain't going to cut it. I mean,
No.
we'll definitely have to talk about some of them. So, but so why don't we get into Christy Alley, since we're going to spend a lot of time on Robin Williams. Christy Alley's top 5 roles that we remember her for. So, Tim, you're number 5.
My dad was a big Star Trek fan. He was a big sci-fi fan. And the first time I saw Kirstie Alley, and I can remember it, she played Salak in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Still today, the best Star Trek movie ever. I don't care about you, Abrams universe people. To me, it's Kirk. It's Shatnerverse or Nimoy verse. But to me, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. When I saw her in that movie, I thought she was going to be a star from that movie alone.
Okay, yeah, I'm not. I did see her in that. Star Trek not one of my fortes, but for me, summer school back in 1987. She played a teacher. Just she had that look. I mean, if guys in the teenage years, I mean, she was probably one of the teachers that you know, were daytime, so had the crush on. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right, so number 4.
So your number 5 is my number 4.
Okay.
That was summer school, and I think more of it because of Mark Harmon. But
Yep.
summer school was one of those fun movies that, and her to see it, and like you said, it's one of those teachers that you kind of weren't afraid to have a crush on.
Yep.
And was that, I can't remember if it was that a high school or a college.
That was high school.
It was high school. Oh gosh,
I'm almost positive it was a high school movie.
that may have started the teachers and students having affairs in school.
Yeah. Yeah.
she was
Exactly.
she was a very attractive woman, very
Yep.
very attractive woman.
Yep. Number 4 for me. I haven't seen it in a while, but it starred her and I want to say Tim Allen. Now that I think about it, I thought I wrote it down. For Richard Porter.
Yeah, it's Tim Allen.
Yeah. Both of them's kind of startup films, I guess. I know it was early 90s or something, but so for Richard Porter, number 3 you're number 3.
I took one that was based in Minnesota that had Brittany Murphy in it. And every time I see this movie, it's hilarious. And it's Drop Dead Gorgeous. That is such a dark comedy. It makes a fun of the pageants, and it's just hilarious. And she's just Kirstie Alley at her finest. I mean, funny, everything about it. Everybody in that movie became stars. Just it's one of those blip on the radar movies that nobody really knows about, and then everybody goes back and goes, "Wait, they were in that one. They were in that one. They were," and it's funny. It's a hilarious movie.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I had it at number 3, and I don't recall ever seeing it. So I'm going to have to go back and watch it. But it was one of those things where when you brought up her name, that's what they have. Kirstie Alley and Drop Dead Gorgeous. Then it was Cheers. Then it was Look Who's Talking. So I'll definitely have to go back and watch that. But I definitely heard a lot about it. Did not know it was based in Minnesota, though. So I'll have to definitely go watch it. You're number 2.
Oh my God. Are we looking at 4 of our top 5 being the same at this point?
Possibly.
Possibly. My number 2, this kind of restarted John Travolta's career. If they hadn't done more, I don't think he would need to restart his career with Pulp Fiction. But Look Who's Talking. It was funny, and being teenagers, I think when it came out, I think it was 89 or 88. It was funny, but you weren't afraid to tell your friends that, yeah, I watched Look Who's Talking, and going, no, that's a baby movie. No, that thing is funny. That thing is funny on 900 levels.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, definitely Look Who's Talking. All 3 of them that they had. Look Who's Talking Now, and then what was the third one? Look Who's Talking, Look Who's Talking Too, Look Who's Talking Now. That's when they had the pets talking. Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Like you said, it kind of upstarted John Travolta's career again. Kirstie Alley was still going strong, so a great pairing between those two. Love those movies. So, number 1.
Yeah. If you think when you talk about Kirstie Alley, there's only one thing you ever talk about. When you replace Shelley Long on Cheers, you had to have a superstar, because Shelley Long with Ted Danson carried that show, and then they brought in Woody Harrelson, but when you look at what she did when she came in to that show, and I think the ratings went up after she came into the show. It's amazing to do that when you're replacing a powerhouse in Shelley Long. Definitely Cheers.
Yeah, Cheers. I mean, that was, to me, that's the first role I could list when we did the list. Yeah, like you said, she replaced what's her face? But yeah, that show. I mean, iconically, that show's great too. But yeah, that definitely put her on the map. Anything we left off for Kirstie Alley? I know there's a few. I mean, she had a lot of cameos in TV shows. I know.
Yeah, she did. She did Veronica Mars. Did. I didn't watch Veronica Mars. I didn't watch a lot of that stuff. But it I think the one that you had on your list, I completely blew. It was, I think, you had
Horror.
Yeah, that was on my list, and for some reason I remembered Star Trek, and I think that was when Tim Allen was starting to really make his money coming off of Home Improvement. But yeah, that was a great movie too, and that gets lost in the shuffle, I think. And it's to play an Amish person when you're rich people from Manhattan, and it's just like, wow, it was a great script, and the acting in it was amazing.
No, yeah. So moving on to Robin Williams, I'll say right now, if we get 3 of the 5, because I know he's had a lot of roles, I'll be shocked. I won't be heartbroken, but number 1 probably. I think we'll probably hit number 1. So let's go with number 5.
The only movie to give this man an Oscar. The only movie, and it's a travesty when you realize that this man was nominated and he gets one Oscar. It's just it blows my mind. But when you see Robin Williams play a psychologist in for Matt Damon and see the absolute punishment and the pain he gives himself in this movie because of how he lost his wife and how he and everything and how he helps Matt Damon through that entire movie. Yeah, Goodwill Hunting. To me, I remember seeing that Goodwill Hunting, and I'm going, this man. I knew it the moment I saw the movie the first time in the theater, and I went, this man should win an Oscar for this. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's weird. He hasn't won many awards. For me, number five, a movie I've seen probably a couple times, and I think if I remember right, I think he had a disability, or was supposed to play a kid with a disability. Is Jack? You know,
One of the ones I've got on it's one of the ones that are on my seven that are
yeah.
on the
Well,
slide.
yeah, Goodwill Hunting was on there too, but Jack, one of those movies, I've only seen it a few times. I ain't gonna try to sugarcoat it. So number four.
Um, this made me scared of Robin Williams. This movie, this is the first time you ever see that you see the psychopath that can be a comedian playing a villain. Um, and you see him in blonde hair, and it's really it's a good movie, and I think it's underrated for what it was. But when Robin Williams played the developer, the film developer, in a basically like a Walgreens type of setting, it's just scary because you know what he's like, and just to think that what type he is. But 1 hour photo to me was so diabolical. That's why they always say if you're going to get a villain and you want him to play diabolical, you get a stand-up comedian.
Okay, okay. For me, just shows how funny this guy is and what he can do. And before he's passing, they talked about making a second one, but they couldn't get the full cast together. Mr. Doubtfire. I mean, he goes from being an ordinary dad to having to play a woman to see his kids and stuff like that. That just, I mean, it shows you. Yeah, they probably went to a little bit of the extreme, but they showed the power the wife has when it comes to kids and stuff. And if you screw up, you're not gonna be able to see your kids, so you gotta do what you can. But Mrs. Doubtfire, classic movie. So you're number four or three.
My number three. To this day, I could replace this with another cartoon, but when you realize that Robin Williams kind of ad libbed 99% of the movie and it's a cartoon, you kind of get scared. Um, and this is the guy, and not Will Smith, that should be playing Genie from Here into Eternity. It's got to be. It had to be Robin Williams. I don't care if you CGI his voice. I don't care. To me, if the Genie is not played by Robin Williams, don't do it. Just don't do it. To me, Aladdin is a benchmark and I'm that's that and everybody in my house loves Lion King, but to me the best Disney movie of all time is Aladdin.
Ooh, that could be debatable, but no, I'm with you. Aladdin. I mean, he's definitely the genie. Um, the second one was played by somebody else that was not it, but they brought
And
him
then they
back
brought
in
it
the
back to
third.
the third one.
Yeah, they brought him back in the third one. So, um, but yeah, Aladdin. I mean, just shows you, and there's a couple other cartoon ones. That one for sure I know I have that he played in. Um,
I don't have it on here, but that's one that could have been one of 25 in the top
yeah,
25 list.
exactly. All right, number two.
This is me as a kid. This I remember as a kid, and to think that Gary Marshall created this series because of his one episode on Happy Days, and they turned around and made an entire series for this and put Mark Harmon. See how we circle back to put Mark Harmon. Mark Harmon's wife, Pam Dauber, is in this TV series, and this was me. This was a guarantee number two. And my mom bought me this set the entire series for me for Christmas like 8 years ago. So if she's listening, yes, I still remember. But Mork and Mindy, to me, that was Robin Williams. I truthfully still think to this day, I still think that's peak Robin Williams. I still think that we got a lot out of Robin Williams, but to see him just basically unhinged and just, it's like letting a cat, spinning a cat by the tail, running around, dip its head in some catnip. We don't condone animal cruelty, just so you know, and letting it go. That's Robin Williams and Mork and Mindy.
Yeah. For me though, I have. I'll go back to my childhood too, and possibly, was a cartoon. They made a live action movie of it. Popeye. I mean, and I can't see anybody else playing Popeye besides Robin Williams, and just back in early '80s, I think that was just brought him to life on more of his acting skills. I know we've had some other movies, but so you're number one.
Your number one, I believe, is your number three.
Nope, my number two is your number three.
Oh, okay. So my number one is your number four.
Possibly, yeah.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yep.
To me, that's Mrs. Doubtfire. You could walk into a room of 100 people and 99 people will tell you Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it's one of those. And I'm going to be, and this is a personal opinion, I think that's a once in a generation movie to me. To me, that was, it was a perfect script for the perfect two people at the time. Perfect script for Sally Field. Perfect script for Robin Williams at the time, and it really tugged on a bunch of heartstrings, and it did a lot. Surprised it didn't win more awards. Travesty.
Yeah.
It's just it's crazy when you realize that movie, and I think they were getting ready to do Doubtfire. I know they were getting ready to do Doubtfire 2.
Yep.
I think he nixed it because of his diagnosis with Parkinson's and Lewy body before he we all know.
Yeah.
I think they had it done. I think he turned it down because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he turned it down or Sally Field turned it down. I can't remember which.
I thought it was the daughter that turned it down.
No, the daughter turned it down. Well, no, she wasn't going to come, but you could write that out. But I think he was sick. But Pierce Brosnan was all ready to do it. Yeah. He was all ready to come to do it. And it's just crazy to see. It's one of those wholesome stories about what a father can do, and what lengths a father will do to see his kids.
Yep.
It's an amazing story.
Some fathers. There's some fathers that won't do nothing, but no, that definitely is up there. My number one's your number two. Just like you said, this series, because of one episode on Happy Days, turned into a series. Mork and Mindy. I mean, you watch them, you see them sitting on the couch upside down. You see them.
I watched football like that.
Yeah.
When I growing up as a kid, I watched football like that.
Well, we can watch football like that now. I mean, how crazy
you've seen the Colts play, so yeah, it's pretty much the same way.
But yeah, it's one of his iconic, if not the iconic role that he's played. I mean, we named off 10, total, but so let's get to some that we left off, because I know there's quite a bit we left off. So
yeah.
So what are some you left off?
I left off Hook.
Yep.
To have him play Peter Pan was that was a perfect cast. To have Dustin Hoffman play Hook opposite of a Robin Hood Peter Pan. Yep. Robin Williams Peter Pan.
That was tough to leave off.
A Night at the Museum. That series was just to see him, and then you see him play Teddy Roosevelt, and you go, okay, I know they didn't do anything, but he looks almost identical to Teddy Roosevelt. It's crazy. There's probably people watching this right now going, "You're missing a couple."
That's what I'm going through.
Believe me, I'm not. Good Morning Vietnam.
Oh yes.
That one was tough not to put on the list because it was crazy to see and watch, and it was another one, and it's based on a true story, which makes it Kronauer was a real person during the Vietnam conflict, and
Yep.
it's to see it put on the screen was amazing. I left off Jack. I don't know why I did. I can honestly say that. Patch Adams,
Yep.
to me, Patch Adams was the one that really crossed him over, I think, into everything. Again, another biopic. It's crazy to see, but this next one, when you kind of add on to the series, and when the series adds on with an Easter egg to you in the forest about somebody else that had come before, and we don't say Jumanji,
Yeah.
it's kind of yeah. But this is another one. This is the one we could do a whole hour on this
Yep.
actor and still missed some stuff.
Oh yeah, because I mean, for me, you got Flubber out there. You said Patch out Bicentennial Man. Um, was another one I haven't seen in years.
It's been a
Uh,
while.
yeah.
Fern Gully.
Robots.
Fern Gully.
Another was a good one. A couple of his newer ones, RV, I thought was pretty good family movie. And then him and Travolta in Old Dogs, I thought was a pretty cute, another
Yeah.
family type movie. But like you said, I mean, we said at the beginning, I mean, Robin Williams, we could have went on, for a whole show, and we're probably still missing some stuff that he did.
Hey, you get a
You
chance
know,
to watch. If you want to watch a weird Robin Williams movie about a guy who's got some mental issue problems, okay, besides the Fisher King and all that other stuff, go watch The World According to Garp, where his character bites the dog's ear. I mean, literally, it's just crazy, and just to see the things. Did you see that he's got a brief little cameo in AI where he's the voice of Mr. Question? I think it's Mr. Question or
okay,
um, but it's just crazy when you see Happy Feet. We could put Happy Feet on there.
yep,
We could have
Happy
done.
Feet's another one. Yep.
It's just crazy that stuff, and then we lost out. But and and I'm not going to get on my soapbox saying that he committed suicide because he had his illness,
Yep.
and Louis Body is. If you ever
Tim froze again. Have a little technical issues, so we'll wait for him to come back on. But just want to get out there that
we weren't going to have him for much longer.
oh yeah,
But we weren't gonna have him much longer. We maybe have had 2 years anyway after that. But yeah, it's crazy.
yeah. So just remember, folks, love those ones that are close to you, because you just never know when that time comes. But yeah, so I know we're cutting a little early there, Tim. But what's your final thoughts for today?
Um, it's it's strange when you go back and um look at the lists that we've got and the movies that we got, and you look at your childhood. Yeah, cherish your childhood because it's not there for long. And but we've got thanks for everybody for watching. We've got some great shows. I'm still not sure if they've ever got their you guys ever got your baseball show going, but uh,
Yeah.
but we've got morning tailgate this weekend. That's a conversation for another day, for another minute. But we've got great shows. Big B's got a bunch of great shows. Mess Around Dave, Crispy Bacon, J Mac, Sarge, Adam. They all got great shows. Don't be afraid to check us out. Put comment on this, and we read them. We really do, and we get some of our ideas just from the comments.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, keep checking us out. Just like anything else, kind of revamping things. So the shows are a little inconsistent right now, but we got Between the Ropes, we got Morning Tailgate on Sunday. This week Sunday, probably next week we'll probably do a Saturday show with the guys. you can start getting into those Saturday games. We got the Bo and Joe show on Thursdays. We got OVW wrestling on. Bo and Joe on Wednesdays. OVW wrestling and Creeping It Real on Thursdays. We got the Four Bros Radio, which you can catch early morning Central Time, midnight Central. So, definitely a show that we can't play during the day. But with that being said, you can check myself and Tim out next Tuesday for another edition of C2C Rank Em. So have a good one.